Ugh. Any flying today or no? Still nothing?
It just did 2 ships. It just came back.
Not nice. Oh man. What's up, Mark? Dusty, what's up, Edward? How's it going?
You've got to eliminate the emojis. Hey, Mark White, how you doing?
Hi, Paul, Justin, Edward, and Dusty.
So what'd you do today? Just anything important?
Uh, no, not really. Kind of a
So when is it you have to go for training? Is it next week?
no tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay. Hey, Edward. Mark is here. East Coast Thrills here. Ed Hassick, how you doing?
So
I'll be kind of glad when the election is over because it's getting kind of old and they're pulling out all the stops. Camilla ran an advertisement today about her and her husband and how they're a perfect match for the White House. Like, oh, give me a break.
you're gonna hear all that crap for the next couple months. That's what it is.
This wacky doodle. Wacky doodle time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I get so sick and tired of hearing her saying how she's going to make everything more affordable, more affordable. She doesn't say how she's going to do it. She doesn't say what she's going to implement. Just she like she's the godmother waving her wand, you know?
Yeah, she
Yep.
doesn't say more affordable for who.
No, exactly. And the other statement that just drives me crazy is going to make the millionaires and billionaires pay their fair share. Well, a millionaire and a billionaire pays about 30% of their income now. The average person doesn't pay 30% of their income. She's just all wackadoodle.
Well, over here it'd be 40%.
Is that what your tax is? 40%?
It's 20% until you get over. I think it's 60,000 a year, and anything over that is 40%.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, it's zero up to 14,000, and then from 14 to 60,000, it's 20%.
But anyway. So what'd you do today? Mark, anything interesting?
No, not really.
Okay.
Had to go to the district nurse and have my dressing done at 7:10 tonight.
Let's see here. Where is? There we go. What the? That's working? No, okay. Should be turned off now.
Hmm?
No, I was looking at something to see if something was turned off.
Oh, to
What's
make
up,
sure that
Brenda?
echo again.
Hey, Brenda.
Super annoying. Because I never did that before. That
Yeah,
just started like a week ago, so it had to have been some kind of fucking update.
it's either that or the update changed the setting in Zoom settings.
I've checked all the settings. I can't find anything that would have caused that. I
Mm.
think what it is I think it's the two noise cancellations might be conflicting because that's the only thing my NVIDIA runs is noise cancellation.
Yeah, they kind of cancel each other out.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what's causing it, but it's definitely not speakers like picking up backfeed because I don't have any speakers. So
Yeah.
since I don't ever use speakers, I didn't have them. I just took them off my computer because I was like, that's just more wires and cables I have running for shit I'm not using. So I just disconnected them and put them up in the closet.
Mm-hmm. So how are you going to get to work then? Is Sarah going to drop you off?
No, I'm driving out tomorrow.
You got 2 cars.
All right.
Well, we got 3 cars between the households. So.
Right.
Better?
Hey, there he is.
Hi, Joe.
Yeah, tried to get on and it kicked me right off.
Really?
Yeah. It kicked me right back on. No baby today.
All right.
She had some meetings this morning and came back and that was it. No, I didn't know about it till noon. I told him, I said, you got to let me know in the morning if that's going to happen because there's other things I'll be doing.
She knows you can't be there tomorrow, right?
Well, I told her, you should. I said, I hope you didn't screw this up because tomorrow I won't be here. No, the ex is taking off tomorrow. But she had meetings to go to this morning, got back around 1 and just stayed home.
I saw you got the Saginaw. Can't wait to watch your video, Brenda says, Paul.
Yeah, I'm right now I'm doing the federal D.
It has nothing to do with my headphones, Dre, Jesus.
Bad headphone. Well, just blame it on Laura. That's all.
Is that the way it works?
Well, let's see if it's echoing now. Hold on.
Annoying video ads slowing you down online. Just
No,
go to
that's fine.
privacy ad block.
Yeah, see, it shouldn't be echoing now. I figured out what it was.
It was Laura.
Noise cancelling on one thing was cancelling out the noise cancelling on the other.
Yeah, yeah, causing some weird feedback. That's the only thing it could be because that's all that that software is running. What's up, Joe? There you go. Here's a funny short comparing British and Americans. There you go.
This store is huge. I'm so disoriented. Oh, you mean disorientated? What? Never mind. What else do we need? Aluminum foil. You mean aluminium? What are you talking about? Oh my god. Okay, what else do we need? Let me check the list on my mobile. Mobile. It's mobile. If it was mobile, it would be spelt noble with an M. God, you guys just mispronounce everything? Okay, so what's this? Bottle of water? A bottle of water, is it? Governor? Oh, a bottle of water. Is that how you pronounce it? Right? Is that
That's funny. That's funny.
That was the shit I used to give Laura all the time. She'd say, ball water.
Drink a bottle of water.
Water.
Yeah, you got to get rid of the T. Water.
Bottle.
Yeah, just
Water.
you doing half your words.
That's that girl that can do, she can do like every damn accent out there, and she does them like spot on too. Like she can do Australian, British. She can do like a Korean accent. She's really good at doing accents. She did one video where she did accents in 12 different languages. But she didn't speak the languages, but she did the accents of what you would hear somebody speak it in English, like the type of accent they would have if they had like broken English and stuff like that. And she did it really good too. That's one thing I do give some actors, man, because it ain't easy doing accents. And they'll do like entire movies or TV shows doing a different accent. Like the guy Hugh Laurie, the one that did House. I mean, when you would hear him talk in the show, you would think he was American. You would never know he was British. Do you know that show actually kind of fucked his leg up a little bit because he was walking with that cane in the show so much? He actually got a little bit of a, took him a while to straighten his leg back up. Yeah, we got about another month of ads, Paul, and then they'll be all over.
Yeah.
Political ads.
Yeah.
You might get a couple of days after the election of lingering ads, but for the most part they should be done.
Yeah, I was just complaining to Justin about it. I'm getting sick and tired of all the political ads.
Hey, do like Donald said though. If you don't support that side, watch the ad, the full ad, because then they have to pay for it. You're just draining money from them. Ain't changing your mind at the end of the day.
Yep.
If it's a 2-minute ad, sit and watch the full 2 minutes. They got to pay for all that versus you skipping it after 5 seconds. Donald made a good point when he said that.
My Wi-Fi just dropped the internet, so I missed about the last couple of minutes.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
About the time you think you got everything figured out, it bang.
Yeah, I guess the rain let up over at Paul's too. He was able to go get 2 ships today.
Yeah, it let up and allowed me to go get a couple of ships right in a row.
Brenda said, my husband said Fox is interviewing Harris Wednesday.
Yep.
You know what's funny though is like you think they would do some more, if they really wanted to reach the masses, honestly, they would get on some of these YouTube shows because they get more viewers than the fucking mainstream media shows do.
That's what Harris is doing. She's getting on all the Call Me Daddy shows and that.
Well, I'm saying like there's like you'll watch some like you literally have a mainstream media like doing the presidential debate on their YouTube channel, and then you'll have like say Steven Crowder or somebody else that's a YouTube news type personality showing the same debate on their channel, streaming it live, and they'll have like 10 times more viewers than Fox or CNN, any of those guys. They'll have like a couple thousand watching, and then like Steven Crowder and them, they might have like 50, 60, 100,000 people watching.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you who's watching who. I mean,
True. Andre, Brenda, Joel.
I've literally seen mainstream media channels be live for an hour and not have but 2 people come in their chat the entire time and say 2 things and then leave.
I mean, who believes anything that Fox broadcasts anyway?
I'm saying any of them. It don't matter which side it's on. Like they don't seem to get as many viewers on the internet as some of the independent guys do. Like I said, like a perfect example was just like the hurricane coverage. Ryan Hall had at one point 422,000 people watching his stream. You could go to any of the mainstream media coverage of the storm, and some of them didn't even have 1,000 people watching.
Well, Dre says she's not going to turn up on the Infinity Gaming show. Well, no, she don't play Fortnite.
I don't want her on my damn show anyway. I'm not a political channel. I'm saying people are going to social media more to get their news from independent people than they are mainstream. It seems like just what I've seen. I'm sure they're getting more viewers on the actual television itself, but still, that's a big difference on social media. And social media is key these days. I think they're all crap, Brenda, but CNN is probably the worst one at all of them by far. I don't think either side on the mainstream media is any good. I think they're all kind of crap, but I think CNN definitely takes the cake as being the worst one. They've been sued so many times over defamation to the point where AT&T wanted to sell them a couple years ago because they were costing them over $1 billion in lawsuits.
Yeah, she can still get out. Good.
Because of outright misinformation or misreporting they were putting out.
In the best way to get the actual real news to monitor Reuters, whatever they're called.
But like I said, I'm not going to defend either side because they're both kind of crap. So I watch mainstream media really hardly at all. I rarely watch any of their crap. I usually watch independent people on YouTube.
Just saying, in the best way, monitor, Reuters?
Well, when you're watching mainstream news too, they cut and pick little pieces.
Chop everything up. Yep.
When you're watching somebody who's just kind of more independent as far as just trying to get you what's actually out there, they'll show you the full clips. They'll run the entire 5-minute, whatever it might be, versus giving you 10 seconds of it. The one I used to watch, Brenda, that I don't really like watching anymore is Tim Pool because I don't know. A lot of what he says don't ever come to fruition. He seems to be.
Did you see the ad they had about the guy, the running mate for Kamala out there shooting? They were shooting pheasants or birds or something like that, and they all went hunting gear and they perfectly matched, like they were coordinated. And he was loading his shotgun and he was having problems loading the shotgun. How he's a real man. and it took him 5 minutes to load a shotgun because he couldn't get it to load.
I don't know nothing about that, so I can't speak on it.
Hmm.
Didn't see
Yeah, they
it.
were showing it and that. And the biggest thing they were saying, they shot one bird. They had 3 dogs with them. Shot one bird, and they couldn't find it. Now, what kind of dogs did they have with it? With the dogs would have found it. You know, it's like,
Knuckleheads. They're all knuckleheads.
then they're supposed to have another one that came out about him working on an automobile, and he was cleaning the dirty air filter. They said I haven't seen that one. They said when he took the air filter out, it was perfectly clean, and he changed it with another one.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't see nothing on them hunting or anything, so I can't really speak on that because I don't know.
But it's just, I'm at the point now where I'm tired of this.
But
Yeah,
you'll
as soon as
get
anything comes on the TV, I hit the mute button. Boom.
but you'll get anti-gun people during campaigns doing so-called hunting trips just for the cameras because they're trying to
Oh, yeah.
appeal to a certain audience. Don't mean that they actually do it on a regular.
I think it would have been
and that
funny
could-
as hell as if he had put that sucker in there and it would have went off. You know?
Or if he'd have shot one of the other hunters, that'd have been hilarious.
No, don't hurt anybody.
Or it's like,
It can go off when you're putting a shell in if you know what you're doing.
I can't remember who that senator or congressman was a couple of years ago. Who
With
was
a
kind of anti-gun, and she claimed that the AR-15 you could load 50 cal rounds in
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Didn't you could tell she knew nothing about fucking guns.
yeah.
Imagine he
Most
gets,
of them don't.
follows the bird to shoot it and shoots down the news broadcast drone.
Just like they think AR stands for assault rifle, it's literally
Yeah.
for the company that makes the guns.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, you heard she was on was it 60 Minute? It was one of the show. It wasn't a 60 Minute show, it was another show. And they asked her, she owned the guns and said, yeah, what kind? She goes, Glock. Like that. That's because she's just signed a thing about they're trying to work with Glock. So she remembered the name. I would have loved if them said, well, what caliber? Or what was the model number? You know? I'd have loved to. That's how you gotta ask her. Make her come out and, you know. Now that's gonna happen Wednesday night, I'm telling you. Because it's on Fox. Bear's gonna do that to her. He's gonna really go at her. And it's only right. She should be exposed if she's wrong.
Yeah,
They
Brenda.
got on.
Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna tell Brenda, yeah, I was finishing my point on Tim Pool. I just don't like watching him anymore because everything's, oh, we're going to brink of civil war, blah blah blah. It's just always, I don't know. Seems to fearmonger a little bit more than report the news.
They have another one on it was on YouTube, it was on Instagram. I don't know how real it is, but it's on Instagram. That they were showing her at that Hispanic town hall that Trump did the other day, that she did, and she's answering questions, and she went off on a tangent about I was brought up in a middle class family, and the camera in the back turned on, and she had a teleprompter. And as soon as the camera turned on, they cut the teleprompter.
Well, most of them have teleprompters. That's not uncommon. But it's
Yeah, but that's the talking point. She's got to have them all the time.
Well, besides that, she had like a 5-minute pause while they fixed the teleprompter because she didn't know what to say.
Yeah,
It was just,
she didn't know what to say.
well, that's the thing.
She just
Some
blanked.
people, yeah, but if I was going to get up there and make a speech, I would probably need a teleprompter because I'm not good at remembering an entire speech.
yeah, but you're not running for president either.
No,
Yeah,
but I'm saying
they
some
could.
people can get up and just wing it and do really well, and some other people, that's why I said Vance did really good in the debate where Trump didn't do so well, and that's just because Trump may not be good at doing that. Some people aren't. Some people aren't good at debating and getting up on stage and just winging it like that. And then there's other people like, I dare somebody to get up on a stage with Ben Shapiro. That motherfucker will
Yeah.
talk you into the damn ground.
Yeah.
That dude is quick on the responses, and he's very intelligent too. Like he's the
Well,
type that you don't want to get stuck in a debate with because he'll make you look
Oh, no.
stupid.
And the other day with when Elon Musk got up there at Trump's rally, Musk was out of place. You could see he was nervous and out of place talking to everybody.
Well, for the longest time, he wasn't really supporting one side or the other, but he said
Yeah.
he's had a final straw. He's done with it.
Yep.
And he decided to take a side. So it's up to him as an American. So what he wants to do at the end of the day.
Mhm.
I mean, I support
it
him. I've
just-
always supported him. I think he's one of the few billionaires that actually gives a shit about the regular person. I wouldn't trust Jeff Bezos or any of those guys as far as I could throw them. I would trust. I just, in my opinion, from my, you know, um, assessment of what I see these billionaires and how they carry themselves around regular people and stuff, I would tend to trust Elon. Just my opinion. I know
Yeah.
some people don't like him, but I wouldn't be hesitant to give. If I say I had $100 million to invest, I would rather give it to Elon than any other billionaire in the world.
Yep.
And say, make me money.
Well, at Big Bang, when he was helping at the soup kitchen, and Horowitz was mad because he was in the back and had to, he wasn't out front. He had to wash dishes, and Elon's back there, and he says, "Look, somebody threw away 3/4 of an eclair like this," and Horowitz looks at him and like, "Oh Lord, help me! Don't eat this." He says, "You want to split it with me?" Because heck yeah, you know.
I mean, and just look how modest he is, man. He doesn't
Yeah.
have 50 mansions around the world. He doesn't have yachts. He doesn't.
Well, have you seen where he lives?
Yeah, he lives in a little modest 3-bedroom house right outside the space or this.
It's a rental
the
house,
SpaceX.
$50,000 rental house,
Yeah, right outside SpaceX's
right
headquarters.
outside SpaceX.
That's what I said. Yeah, I
The houses on each side of them are his security.
Well, if I had his money, I don't think I'd have yachts and what's it, houses all over the world. I'd just stay in good hotels.
but I'm saying you see where his priorities are. It's not in his own self-interest. It's in the development of. He's very much, I would say, in the development of scientific discovery. Like, yeah, he owns Tesla, and I know a lot of people are against electric cars, blah blah blah. But the one thing you got to give him is he's one of the only people in the last 100 years that has built up an American car company to a giant from damn near nothing. Now, Tesla was something when he got it. Granted, he didn't start it, but it wasn't the behemoth it is now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That
I mean, our local Mercedes dealership next to City's Ground now a Tesla dealership.
Well, yeah.
right. I mean, to start a new car company or bring one up to the behemoth that Tesla is now from scratch in America is a very difficult thing. And the man did it. And only one in the past, 100 years or so? I mean, easily, maybe 70 years, 60 years. I don't know when the last big car company was established, but it's been a long time. And not to
Paul?
mention,
Well, the first big car company only started in 1904,
Here you
so
go, Paul.
20 years ago.
Alright.
what is
Look.
that? Twinkies, chocolate lovers.
Oh, yeah.
Chocolate lover Twinkies. Yeah, can't wait to get a hold of these tonight.
But I mean, Mark, you remember just 30 years ago, the whole conspiracy around why we don't have electric cars now. Man broke through all those conspiracy theories,
Yeah.
you know?
We didn't have the battery technology back then.
Right, but you remember all the conspiracy theories. Oh, this guy back in the 60s had it, and he mysteriously died in a car crash because the car companies wanted to keep him, silenced. You heard about all those weird ass conspiracies back in the day.
There's always been a lot of them, no matter what industry it's in.
Right, but like I said, I give it to him, and look what he's done with SpaceX. Like I said, Elon's not the obviously not the genius behind building some of this stuff, but he's getting the right people together,
he-
and that's where he's funding his money.
He's not a scientist. He's a businessman.
Right, but he knows where he wants to put his money, and everything he's touched has damn near been gold. Has
Yeah.
come out the other end just really well. I
Mhm.
mean, SpaceX is, to me, what SpaceX has done in just the past 10 years almost overshadows NASA's entire existence. Not to
Yeah.
take nothing away from NASA, but it just the advancements they made in just 10 years and what they're doing is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I mean, we all remember just 10 years ago, a fucking rocket launch was something that was like a rarity that was every year, maybe 3 years, you'd get one. Now it's like every fucking week there's one or two rockets going off. It to the point where nobody thinks about it anymore.
We don't even hear about it.
Well, I don't even hear about half of them anymore, and I live in Florida.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
it's
would
just
imagine back at the turn of the century, the 19th century, they used to do a lot of reports on people driving cars, not buckboards and not wagons or whatever. Oh, there's a car, you know?
The beginning of the 19th century was 1801. They didn't have cars then. It was the 20th century.
Yeah, the 20th century.
1901
Because
was
we're in the 21st
20th.
century, 21st
Yeah.
century now.
We are. Well, cars didn't really start taking off till about 1904. That's the date that sticks in my mind anyway.
Well, and that's why U.S. roadways tend to be a little better for vehicles than European roadways because we were able to design our roadways to meet that criteria where you guys
Yeah.
were using existing roadways for wagons and shit.
Ours were designed for horse and carts, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and your houses and everything were built so close to the roads, you know?
Well, that's
So-
what I'm saying.
The road.
They had real narrow roads because they weren't designed for vehicles when they first started using them.
Yep.
Because they're a lot older towns and cities and stuff.
Yeah, our taxis were pony and trap. All deliveries were done by horse and cart. I mean, hell, my granddad used to do all his stuff by horse and cart. He was a greengrocer at first, then a fishmonger. And everything was horse and cart, even though cars were around at the time.
Well, not to mention, so many of your guys' buildings are like so old and historic. It's not like they can just fucking tear them down and move them to make room, you know?
Oh, they've done that with some of them.
That's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple of buildings in where I live in Droylsden that there were outcries over the fact that they tore them down to build, like they tore the library down about 2.5 years ago to do something with it, and it's still flat.
how old was the library?
I don't know, maybe 70, 80 years, something like that.
That's not that old.
No, it was only a brick.
Not by your guy, definitely not by your guys' standards.
It was only a brick building, but it was an unusual design.
Like over here, if that historical society slaps their fucking label on the outside of a building, that's it. You can't touch that bitch no more.
Yeah, well, they knocked down Droylsden Town Hall and built a horrible concrete monstrosity in its place. They knocked down one of the old doctor's surgeries that was all built in stone and built an old folks home in it.
But you guys only have so much room over there. I mean,
They've knocked down at least 6 or 7 pubs.
a lot of your areas, it's almost like New York City. You don't have a choice but going up, not really out.
A lot of the old mills that used to, like the ones Christie's used to make towels, that's now Tesco's. A few of the other mills have all been knocked down, and housing estates built on where they were. So we're losing a lot of history that's not ancient, but it's still history.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking 80 years. That's probably around the time you guys rebuilt from World War II, huh? Roughly around that time.
Well, that would have been in the 40s, well, late 40s, early 50s. Yeah. I mean, my house was actually built before the Second World War.
And it made it through, no issues.
Yeah. It was built in the early 30s, 33. So about couple of years before, well, about, what was it, 39 to 45 on it. So like 6 years before the war started, Second World War started.
Yeah, I was watching a TV show and they were doing a tour of a castle over, like a castle type building over in England. And it was like over 900 years old. I was like, fuck, man. But it was all restored and everything. Like, it was a really beautiful building. It was big.
I always
too.
like hanging out with older guys who they'll be telling you, none of that used to be there. It's like, dude, you can point anywhere and say none of that used to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, when the dinosaurs were around, all this was open space.
Looks like Brenda said she's going to drop her ballots off tomorrow.
Oh, she's doing the pre-voting?
Yeah, I'm just waiting until for the 5th. I'm going to go to the actual polling station. Ours is literally right down the street. I could walk to it in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I
but
got
if you're
the-
gonna be voting Kamala, there's gonna be a line. So
Oh, Jesus.
I got the notice that they got mine back already. So
we know you're gonna vote for Kamala.
Oh,
yeah,
You,
oh,
Justin?
hell no.
Why not? Are you scared of women? A real man wouldn't be scared to vote for her.
Has nothing to do with her being a woman.
Yeah, it sounds like to me that you're misogynist.
No, for
It's the
fuck's sakes.
Daffy Duck theory. Would you vote for Daffy Duck to be president?
go.
Yeah.
go.
Ben, you-
Actually, yeah, I would
I
love
don't
for
know
Daffy-
what is
Yeah.
what is his policies. That's what matters.
First off,
Her
there'll be
policies
suffering
are,
succotash in every pot.
I was raised in a middle class family.
Suffering succotash. No, that was
Yeah.
Sylvester, wasn't it? It was Daffy.
I don't care if somebody's a man or a woman. It doesn't matter to me.
My guess is that the hunting
Whoever
laws would change. If Daffy ran for president, hunting laws would change definitely. It would always be rabbit season.
Wapping.
Open rabbit season.
Open wapping season.
Daffy didn't sound anything like Donald.
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Brenda.
Mhm.
Doesn't want to stand in line.
In fact, you do quite a lot of racism things with that, because Donald was white and Daffy was black.
Oh God.
I know, it's terrible, isn't it? You think about it.
Yeah, there was a lot of hidden shit in even older cartoons.
Yeah.
As far as like messages and stuff like that. Yeah, as a kid you wouldn't understand, but as an adult you would.
Mm.
A lot of it wasn't hidden either.
Well, I'm saying as a child, it's more of hidden from you because you don't understand it. It kind of goes over your head, is what I'm kind of saying. That's what I meant.
Mm.
I guess it's hidden from your train of thought as a child.
I get you. I agree.
Yeah, I guess like in Tom and Jerry, I think the only human that you actually saw in that was what's it, the big black cleaner.
No,
No, you saw the lady in the house.
the
didn't you?
lady who
You saw
owned. Yeah,
only the bottom half of her body, I think. When you only see her legs or something.
yeah.
I may volunteer to hold a sign at our polling location. Like what kind of sign? Because it can't be political, right? Because I think you have to be within 50 yards, I think, in Florida. Or are you talking about just like a vote here sign? Because I
Surely
think
the
they're,
but it'll hold that they can tie it to a fence.
because I'm pretty sure Florida has a certain. Because I don't even think you're allowed to wear actual political gear to the polling station,
No, not,
like a Trump hat or Trump shirt or Kamala shirt or anything like that.
can't do it here within 500 feet.
Mm. I'm not sure if you're not. I think here you're allowed to wear a rosette. So, like the people who work for that party and stand outside asking people questions that you don't have any legal right to
Here,
answer.
Thomas, if you ever take that out. Thank
They
you.
just wear a rosette on the lapel kind of thing, showing which party they belong to.
Yeah, so in Florida, it's 100 feet. Well, that's not that far though. 100 feet's not far.
30 yards.
Yeah, it's 100 feet, Brenda. I just looked up the Florida statute for that.
There it is.
Yeah, yeah, our polling station's at the local church right down the street.
Yeah,
Less than a quarter mile.
ours are usually either primary schools or community centres. So all the kids get the day off on voting day if they're not in secondary school, but in elementary, as you would call it, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess it's like, I'm assuming they don't want you intimidating people at the polls.
Yeah, you've got to watch the polls. People seem to fly avatars into them.
No, I can't say that. I flew a Mini 2 into a poll. But to be fair, they were in mating season, so. The pole reached out and smacked the drone.
Yeah.
It was like the willow tree from Harry Potter.
I don't think that was that a willow tree?
Yep,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Whomping Willow.
Yeah,
Was it?
Whomping, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
It's a-
At least that's what I think I might have heard some kids talking about because I don't watch baby films.
Yes, I don't watch it, baby.
Yeah. And that where the entrance to the tunnel was as well.
Yeah, you had to poke a knot hole at the base of the. From what I heard.
That's from what you heard, right?
I heard something like that. I'm not sure exactly.
I think that might have been in a book somewhere, huh?
I think no, I wouldn't read those books. I read intellectual books.
Well, see, that's like when I start talking, putting misinformation out there about Taylor Swift. Dusty jumps all over me, but you don't like her. He's like, in fact, her number one single was.
I don't think I could name any of her singles. In fact, I'm damn sure I can't.
That Dusty was at home listening. He was like, "Wait, what?" Fucking dropped his phone trying to respond.
It's on there somewhere.
My Taylor tingle just activated. Justin's talking again. You leave Taylor alone, damn you.
Oh, I remember that person was like 10 years ago. There was a living meme. Leave
Yeah.
Brittany alone.
Yeah, leave Brittany alone.
That was one of the ones they were making fun of on South Park when they did the meme episode. All she was doing, running around the damn thing the whole time, screaming, "Leave Brittany alone." Yeah, the one guy I watch on YouTube, Wavy Web Surf, he does a lot of updates on those people. You get to see what they're doing now and stuff.
Weird that. On my Zoom, it
Uh-huh.
shows my picture that I've got on vertically. So it shows the full minion. And yet on the screen on YouTube, when it's it's only showing that small part of it.
Yeah, because you got your phone, you have your
No.
phone straight up and down or sideways.
Straight up and down.
Yeah, if you turn it sideways, it puts you at full screen.
No, it doesn't.
But
Because
the thing,
that's what I get when I put my phone sideways. What's on YouTube now. But my phone isn't on sideways.
when you turn your phone, it doesn't turn zoom sideways, does it?
No, not on.
Okay, yeah, because I remember that was a thing before with Zoom, is when you come into Zoom, you either have to have your phone sideways or straight up and down, whichever one you come in on. Sometimes it locks into that mode and it won't let you do one or the other. I don't know if they ever fixed that. Well, now you're full screen.
Now that is sideways. It's not
Yeah.
full screen, but it's more than it was showing before. It was like it was zoomed in before. Now, if I turn it back to being vertical,
Yeah,
I see the full thing.
yeah, but if you,
But it's
if-
letterbox.
no, that's not actually
Or
the full
pillar box.
thing. The top of its head's missing,
Not
We-
on mine.
and when I
Okay.
go
on YouTube.
vertical, it zooms into that bit.
Yeah, probably just because you're looking at 3 different apps and different apps decide how to crop it.
Mm.
Take a look.
Well,
Unboxing.
no, because normally it would show the full picture, and I'd have the black.
Turn your phone
backlight
sideways.
side of it. But
Uh,
this is actually zooming in on it.
Yeah.
We can see the full picture. I'm looking at the full picture with the pillar boxes on either side of it. So I
yeah,
don't know what you're doing with your phone.
No, I'm watching it on the telly.
Okay, I don't know what you're doing with your telly then.
Yeah, on YouTube, it's all zoomed in right on the face.
Yeah.
It just sounded so dirty. He's like, I don't know what you're doing with your telly.
Yeah, it's showing on Zoom like that. But
What's the
it's
box?
YouTube. It's YouTube. It's only showing a bit of it.
Oh, what's
Yeah.
the box, Donald? You were showing us?
I am getting ready to. I'm basically using cardboard to mock in what the storage box is going to look like in the back here. I'm building half of the storage box, and I'll just mirror it.
Okay.
But basically, imagine that covered in black.
So you're building the box yourself
Oh yeah,
out of sheet metal?
it'll probably be plywood
Okay.
and then covered. But then the door to the box is going to be cut back here, and I've got kind of tabs there but it'll be cut back and it'll hinge up this.
Yeah, that'd be the
Basically
best.
this
That'd be the best way, yeah.
And then
Actually-
I can put a tab or I can put locks back here. I got some locks I can put here, and then a piece of Velcro or something come up here.
Yeah, I
and
was just about to
strap
say
up
that,
here,
yeah. So
Hold
you
it
could
open.
yeah, I could hold it up for you.
Mhm.
Or if you want to get real fancy, you could go get some of the hydraulics that people use on their trunks.
I
Well,
could if I
that's
want to get
fine.
real fancy. I don't want to overcomplicate this, especially when a piece of Velcro strapped to the inside of it. So when it lifts up, I can just go Velcro it around and hold it will work. Simpler the better. But I think I'm done with my rough mock-up. I'm ready to get more cardboard and do a more refined mock-up that will take basically mirror it and go ahead and do a more refined mock-up for both sides at the same time. Because that center bar or their center part of the box will stay here. It'll be one solid piece there. That's just to kind of support it so that the box doesn't sag over time. And it'll let me separate that side over there will be storage for just drinks or whatever that whatnot, and this side over here will be only for tools. But cardboard is a great stuff. I can't believe they give that stuff away for free.
Yep. Yeah. Best thing you could do if you need moving boxes is just go into a Walmart at nighttime when they're stocking.
Oh, how many people? It's like, okay, what are you moving? Okay, if you don't mind, if you got stuff that's heavy that you don't mind it smelling a little bit like detergent, go over to that aisle because those boxes are sturdy.
Or the best ones
If you're
that
looking for boxes for blankets and stuff like that, go over to Paper Goods because those boxes are nice and big. You don't need real sturdy. You just need.
I used to recommend the banana boxes for heavy things. People would come in and get those.
Oh yeah, banana boxes would be good.
Yeah,
'Cause
those are
like
good for.
double. Yeah.
Yeah, and all you have to do is if because the bottom's got a little bit of a, or the top. Some of them, the bottom had a slight cutout, but if you just put a piece of cardboard down on the bottom,
Uh-huh.
they don't.
Level it out.
Them boxes can hold all kinds of weight, and they stack really good too. And they were they were easy to get rid of too. We used to get people coming in all the time. Then we didn't have to go back there and fill the beller up with the 50 banana boxes. All of the beller was always kind of satisfying using.
Mm-hmm. Dang it, I need more cardboard now. But I'm gonna use the like the thin carpet, like for trunk lining,
Uh-huh.
over the entire outside of it. After I get it put together, I'll use that. That'll smooth over a lot of.
It'll make it look better than just a thrown together plywood box.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I may do inside and outside. Now I'm thinking about it. I kind of like the idea of doing the entire inside against that fiberglass. Go ahead, carpeting that as well.
How much weight you think that's going to add to the thing, though? I guess not enough to really matter. Probably less than two
Maybe.
people sitting back there in a seat.
Maybe 60 pounds. I'll try and keep it. It's not going to be a heavy build. That's why I don't want to put hydraulics in there. I want to
Yeah, I
keep it.
guess. Well, how thick a plywood are you going with?
Probably
with.
not a lot more than the back seat did in the first place.
That's true. And nobody riding back there. But I'm going with the cardboard. Probably won't be much thicker than what the cardboard is there, the plywood that I use. And I will probably cut strips of wood as stiffeners, basically cut ribs.
Yeah, you'd only need something like 3 or 5 ply.
Well, I think your standard is the two standard thicknesses. I think is what, 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch plywood.
Something like that. You can get the thinner, even thinner than that though.
Yeah,
The 1/2 inch is the real heavy duty shit, but it's got some weight to it.
3 ply is 1/4 inch, I think.
Yeah, the stuff I'm getting is going to be. I looked at it up at Lowe's. I don't remember how thick it was, but it's not much thicker than what that.
But I mean, you can get 3/4.
To begin with. It's very flexible. But if I stiff it with ribs, and it's going to be built in some stiffness of the box itself. And I have,
what
Yeah,
you
that-
use supports inch by inch, or
it depends on how insane I want to go with the locks.
mm,
I've got these.
Oh, those are
But-
nice.
I'm not going to use those entire things. I'm going to pull the lock mechanism off, and I'm just going to use the lock mechanism. That's plenty. If somebody wants to break in and steal shit, I'm not going to have expensive shit back there. They can have it.
Well, it
If-
don't matter what you put on there. If they want to get in there, they'll get in there.
Yeah, it's going to be thin plywood. They can bust. They can bust past that big lock
Yeah.
just as easy as they can go through this one. So
Yeah, if you ever watch the guy on YouTube, the lockpick lawyer, ain't no lock any good. That
Oh, no.
that motherfucker breaks into every damn lock somebody sends him.
my son started doing lock picking as a hobby a while back.
Yeah, the lockpick lawyer, man, that dude is insane. People will send him, they'll be like, oh, this is a master lock C30, whatever, and it's unpickable. And motherfucker will get in it in like 10 seconds. He'll be like, "Doo-doo."
Waterproof
That-
stain before I carpet it. That I don't plan on having out in moisture, but that might help to keep it from. That might be a good thing to do just to keep it from.
Do you guys have high humidity there?
And not sometimes it gets high.
Or even just some thick um outside like house paint, like oil paint.
no, it'd be a good idea using a varnish or a stain, because if the carpet gets damp, it's going to hold moisture for longer than normal.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is true, yeah. Because I mean, you always have that potential you could get caught in a rainstorm trying to get home.
You could, yeah. That's a good idea.
Or you pull it out of the garage because somebody needs to do something and it starts raining and you forget about it.
Won't be a minute.
I've got it running just about close to where I need it to be running. I don't trust it yet. I'm building more trust in it. Next big project is to replace the tire, get new wheels and tires. But I don't want to do that yet, so I decided to jump onto a cosmetic project that I can work on.
So are you if you put new tires on, are you going with like some kind of beefy looking off-road ones, or are you gonna stick with like street tires?
I'm gonna stick with street tires. I don't need to have, but it's got a little bit wider tires on the back. I'd almost want to go down a size in front. They put a little bit larger wheels on the front, so the speedometer doesn't work. If I went back to the VW wheels on the front, I get my speedometer accurate again. But my wife isn't sure how that would look. But that's what's on there now.
See, I am just my opinion. If it was mine, I would like the beefier off-road looking tires, not the huge
Yeah,
ones, but that's just me.
And then back here, you can see how much thicker those are back here than the ones up front.
I'll almost go with like a wide tire on the back and a thinner one on the front. Be pretty cool.
That's what it is. It's a wide tire in back, but it's just a regular street tire up front.
Well, if you're not going to go on any sand or anything like
Nope.
that, you don't need it.
Nope. I want a good tire that will be reliable and will wear well.
Mm.
I want practical.
It's not got the original Beetle wheels on it, though, has it? 5 stud.
No.
50, what's it? 15
No.
5 studs.
See,
Yeah,
I
these-
would like. Oh, God.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'd like it for going on like some nice trails, not like off-road trails, obviously, but some nice smooth trails that you could go out in the woods, stuff like that. That
Green
wouldn't
Lane.
beat it up.
I mean, just to show you. My son's Miata wheel next to that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely bigger. Well, at least that's what it looks like to me on the camera.
Yeah, that Miata.
Yeah, got a
Tiny.
14-inch.
What's he doing to that anyway? Looks like it's all torn apart.
You will have to ask him.
What's the Miata? 155. 155 70 14.
I don't know. I can't even tell you what tires are actually on the dune buggy right now. I can't tell you what tires are on my truck right now. I don't know. I go to the tire. I need tires. What size do you need? That medium.
Medium.
I mean, it's gonna be on my truck. There's only gonna be 2 people in it. If it was a family car, I'd want a family size.
Oh, I could totally see Donald calling the tire shop. What size tire do you need, sir? Extra medium?
Oh yes, sir. We've got those in stock.
I do have a small piece of cardboard here, so I can cut a mock-up of the deck lid just to see how it will hit.
That's what Donald does. He makes a cardboard cutout of his wheel and takes it to the tire shop. I need this.
Do you have this in rubber?
Yeah, in a size 14.
I don't want to leave out.
Where did all my X-Acto knives go? I know I took one into my desk, but there should be at least 3 more in this drawer here. And they're not there. Now, is it something I misplaced or is it something that somebody else took out?
Where's that? The one that
Well, are we going to talk more about drones that people are getting today?
Why? What's coming out today?
Tomorrow.
No, I figured one of Paul's deliveries of his, he's got 6 or 7 deliveries that are on his way to his house. We're just waiting for him to trickle in.
He's got a battery charger for the Neo, more batteries for the Neo, another Neo.
God.
And then the Air 3S comes out tomorrow. Allegedly.
Air 3S comes out. Ooh.
That's the one I told him he should have got.
I think it's supposed to tomorrow.
I have heard just little rumblings of what that's going to be, but
See, what I would have done was take that smart controller that he's not using, the first version, sold that with one of the spare Air 2S's, got rid of that, and then he could have bought an Air 3.
Yeah.
Instead of a Neo, because he's not going to end up using that. I
Well-
guarantee he'll get rid of it here in the next few weeks.
Yep.
He might have ended up with about half the price of a 3S. Maybe.
Well, I mean, or just an
maybe
Air
only
3. I mean,
third.
he could have just got an Air 3 too, but it still would have covered some of the cost of it. And then he could have kept the Air 2 S as a backup
Mm.
because he still has the original smart controller. Because altogether, he has 3 smart controllers, but he only uses, well, right of his now,
Yeah.
he's using 2 of them because of the Neo. But before, he was only using 1 of them.
See, I would like the Neo. I could picture myself using the Neo, but I can't picture getting one.
Yeah,
It's like
as long as you can keep within 50 yards of yourself, it's fine.
my neck. Yeah, I mean, I could see myself using one as like a vlogging thing. If we were out somewhere and it was easy, I'd just grab it. I don't have to carry a controller. I could just use it as it is and just get a small aerial shot. Great.
Yeah, it's,
Oh,
I must admit, it's tracking from front and back are pretty damn good by the looks of it.
But that's
Oh, you
if I
could-
had like cash out of my ass. I think if I ever do upgrade a drone, it will be to upgrade professional first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could get a Neo and do those walk by shots that you hate so much that people put in their videos.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, just stick it in spotlight and leave it there, and it'll follow you as you walk past.
Oh, that's the thing. You don't have to do You don't have to just do those walk by shots too much because it'll track you. You don't have to go set it and then run back and then walk by and then go back and get the camera, check the footage. Yeah, I look pretty good there.
Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous when you think about how much work people put behind the camera doing stupid shots like that.
But no, sometimes it is done so well. Other times it is so obvious that it just is annoying. But there are times that it is done well. Like I was mentioning, that Levi Allen guy, he does solo adventure filmmaking, and he does those shots, but he incorporates them well enough that they don't look cheesy. You think, damn, he went back and did that.
Huh?
I guess maybe walking a half a mile in snowshoes to get a shot kind of gives you a little bit of, you have to respect the shot versus, that guy walked 20 feet, walk 20 feet, walk 20 feet.
No.
You'll see his footprints, yeah.
Do what?
Yeah, and you'd still be able to see his footprints.
No, the shot I'm talking about.
Oh, I know
He
the one
walked-
you're talking about. I'm just saying if he walked 20
right.
feet, he would have been able to.
Yeah, you have to respect the work that it took to craft that shot.
Yeah. And yet he could have done it with a drone by just flying the drone to
Out
that
to where
point,
he was going.
yeah,
Mhm.
and then walking towards it.
Yep. I'm sitting here thinking, this is the type of thing that if I was really into YouTube and really wanted to do so, I would be documenting, mocking this thing up and building this box.
Yeah.
Problem is, whenever you do that, you're not really doing the thing you want to do. How do you do that? I don't know. If I could follow somebody else and I could shoot them doing something like this. But myself, it's like, how do you divide your attention for something like that, do a shot like that? I have no idea.
Either that or you'd have to have a shit ton of cameras set up just to catch all different angles. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just point the camera in the right place and set it on time lapse.
True. But then you have to stop and say, okay, here's what I'm doing here. Here's what I'm thinking here.
Well, you do
well,
that
it's
voiceover.
well, some people do like what Mark's saying. They'll do like 10 minutes of talking about their project, and they'll do a time lapse of them getting about 30% done, and they'll stop for another 10 minutes, kind of show you their progress, and then do that over the course of like a half-hour video.
Mm-hmm. If I was more of a YouTuber, I guess that's what I would be doing.
Mm.
Be smart of me to do.
I mean, people do like build videos.
I know. I've talked about that. Process videos are super popular for a reason.
Yeah.
I love process videos.
I mean, even the ones just people cut lawns, those ones are good, do crazy good numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, and cutting lawns, it's the same thing every time. I watch Candy Maker videos, and every single episode is the exact same process of making the hard candy. But it doesn't matter. It's relaxing to watch it done. Come here, you. Hmm. That goes there. Bone to bone. That goes there. Is all that.
Wonder what Dominic is.
Do you have any other shows tonight?
It's early morning for him, but Lloyd later on, I think he's on.
Well, unless it's one of those days he goes out to his brunch meetup with his friends.
Well, I think it's later in the morning than it normally is for him now, so he's quite often he's on his way for his coffee at the food court.
Well, he does that thing. I think once a month he goes out. Once or twice a month, he's got this like club of guys that go out. They go out to eat together.
Oh, they have, but that's on birthdays. That normally. I don't know what time it is over there. Echo, what time is it in Melbourne?
In Melbourne, it's 9:17 a.m.
9:15 in the morning. Oh, it's Tuesday there, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be Tuesday.
Mm. I mean, it's Tuesday here in a bit as well, but in another 40 minutes. What have you been doing, Paul? Doing some editing?
I don't know. You're muted, Paul.
Yep. Yes, I am. I'm trying to get the Saginaw done because that's what Brenda wanted to see.
All right. Okay.
But I'm unmuted now, so you can go ahead and contact me or ask me a question. Joe's sleeping, so. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't have the kid around, you know? The grandbaby.
Yeah. Well, it's what? So it's only tea time where
I'm
you are.
watching the Dodgers and the Mets.
Oh, how's that going?
Last night, the Dodgers beat the Mets 9-0. Today, the Mets are beating them 6-3.
Wow.
That's the next round of the playoffs, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You like it, Dusty?
but the
That's a good
Dodgers
movie.
have people in scoring position, time run at the plate.
But I think the Mets knocked the Phillies out, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes, and he has aged, Dusty.
Who was aged?
Wesley Snipes. He was talking about he
Hmm.
watched a new Deadpool yesterday. I said
Yes.
it's definitely aged.
But still, who would not like seeing Old Man Blade?
I wish they would have done more Blade movies. They kind of just stopped them. I would have.
Well, they talked about
I wouldn't
doing-
mind a new one, to be honest with
They
you.
were talking about a new one with that Herschel Ali, whatever his name is, the guy from Green Book. Both.
Blade and like his apprentice.
Either would be nice.
Yeah.
Snipes is too old now, but that's what I was saying. You know, set it in the future. Do like an Old Man Blade, and do like a more of a sci-fi Blade would be really kind of cool. He's a daywalker, so he still ages, but vampire, so a little bit slower, and so he's got years and years of experience. But it'd be kind of neat,
Yeah, that's true because vampires don't age, do they?
right? But then again, you can make any rules you want to. It's all made up.
I mean,
No.
they could do a newer
No,
Blade and make him look
It's
20
in
years
the
younger.
script.
Yeah, but they could make a new Blade and make him look 20 years younger if they really wanted to.
They could do de-aging process, yeah, but that would look kind of bad.
They could
I'd rather
just,
than be honest with it.
they could just use AI.
Yeah, I would like to see maybe a storyline of him and maybe somebody he's training to take his place type thing.
That-
Blast off.
The Ali guy, whatever his name is.
That'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind seeing a new Blade movie though.
Okay, so do I hinge it there maybe? And hinge the entire damn thing? Or do I?
Now, do you make his apprentice something like a Tomb Raider, Lara Croft?
Or like a female character?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably rather see a male keep that role. To be honest with you.
Well, they just had a double play to get out the inning. And I
Yeah.
mean, if that first baseman kept that toe on the bag and stretched as far as he could to get that ball.
Yeah, Dusty, that's why I think instead of replacing him altogether, I think a good storyline would be him and somebody he'd be training to like take his place. I think that would be better. Kind of hand off the torch to a new, younger actor to take on the role, maybe do a couple new movies. I don't think he, like say they did a whole new sequel of movies. I don't think he would need to be in each one, but the first one as kind of a handoff, I think would be kind of cool.
So it wouldn't hurt to have him in small scenes in future ones where the apprentice goes back for advice or something.
Yeah, I just don't think he would need a main role in all the movies.
Yeah.
Just I would say the first initial one maybe, but anything after that, if they decided to do like a three new movies, yeah, I would say he doesn't really need to be in the other two as much. Maybe a little small cameo.
Mm.
That's what sucks though, is actors age out of roles, so especially superhero movies, and it kind of sucks when they just replace them and they don't like. There's no story of replacing them. It's just kind of they just did it because they did it.
And well, you see, that's where Doctor Who comes in. He regenerates every so often.
I said I tried to give it a chance. It's just so cheesy. Can't. I said if the storyline was written a little bit, because I really think the storyline wasn't that great in the first 3 episodes I watched. If they wrote it a little better and maybe touched up the CGI a little bit, made it look a little better, I would have been into it. But I don't know. I don't think the writing was all that well, and the CGI was kind of poor, which kind of threw me off. I mean, not to take away from it, because it's obviously there's a big cult following for Doctor Who out there. So
I think
yes,
the Starship Titanic episode was quite good, which was kind of taken from a Douglas Adams book.
Yeah.
oh, that's where, as a matter of fact, the first episode of the one I was watching, they talked about how he was on the Titanic and he saved a family because the guy was going through, like, he was telling the girl like all the history of Doctor Who and where he's seen him in different photos from different time periods. And he was showing her one, and one of them was from the Titanic. He was like, look, this is a shot with a family from 1912 that was
Yeah, that's not that Titanic.
Oh,
that was the boat. No, the Starship Titanic was a space liner.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of something else.
That was a Christmas episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was a Christmas party, wasn't it? That was invaded by the Cylon, not the Cylons, the
or Cybermen. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got too many of them: cyborgs, Cybermen, Cylons.
Yeah.
Dusty said, "Not Doctor Who. Red Dragon's better." The hell's Red Dragon?
Red Dragon is the Hannibal Lecter. Oh, Red Dwarf. No, Red Dwarf. You know, it is. It's campier. It's funnier. It does drag on really fast. It's the same joke over and over again.
It's also a hell of a lot of it.
There's not as much Red Dwarf as there is of Doctor Who.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, what's it? What's he called? Charles? Charles is his second name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not David. Sure, it's not David.
No. La. I don't remember.
Red Dwarf. I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
They tried to make it as a U.S.
It's a comedy.
Basically, a guy gets suspended in cryo for what was it, thousands of years?
Yeah, working for a mining company.
And when he comes out of cryo on the ship, everybody has died. The only person left is a hologram of the person that he hated.
And the cat.
A cat that he had stowed aboard. The reason he was in cryo in the first place is because he stowed aboard a cat. Well, it had gotten with another cat, and they were in some place on the ship and had sex and had kittens, and thousands of years there was a humanoid cat evolved.
Oh,
So I guess it's
Jesus.
probably millions of years. Who knows?
And
But-
then the computer.
Oh yeah, and I forgot the computer, and they also met a cyborg named or some sort of a robot named Crichton.
Yeah.
It. I can't say it was a bad show, but it did get tiresome the longer it went on.
Craig. Donald.
Craig Charles.
Craig Charles. You know, he's now a disc jockey doing soul and jazz on one of the UK's radio stations.
No, but it doesn't surprise me.
Mm,
And don't sell him short. He does the occasional Red Dwarf reunion specials.
hmm
What about Torchwood? Have any of you guys ever watched that?
Torchwood was
Yeah.
good. Don't
Jesus.
watch the special series. Children of Earth sucked.
No, this is just the regular Torchwood, 4 seasons.
Captain Jack.
Captain Jack Harkness. Yeah, it's a spin-off of Doctor Who.
It is. They
In
have
fact, it's an
they have the
anagram of
Cybermen.
Doctor Who.
They have the Cybermen and the Daleks in it as well.
Is it a little better, or is it kind of?
It's darker.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that one out then.
It's darker and it has more explicit sex in it. Well, am I wrong?
No, you're not. Doctor Who didn't have any sex in it.
Brenda wanted to talk to you, Joe, in the chat. She had a question for you.
Nope, did not get to fly. By the time I found out that the girl wasn't coming over, it was like almost 2 o'clock.
What the hell
I'll
is
get to
that?
fly tomorrow though.
Is that deer down by the water, Paul? The hell are
Yeah,
those?
they're what
Sculpts-
they are is they're sculptors.
Oh, okay.
They're like made out of rods. Wind can blow through them, but yes,
I've never noticed them before. I was like, what the hell? You got deer down there?
yeah.
A waterfall? You mean a fountain? Surely they haven't got a waterfall.
What are you talking about?
No, we don't have any fountains down there.
I thought you said waterfall.
No.
No, he said down by the water, Paul.
Oh, right.
Just-
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out where he got waterfall from.
I was
thinking about
rewinding the
him.
conversation in my head, like, where did he hear waterfall? So I was rewinding.
That's what
in
I
my
was
head.
thinking. I was like, how the hell did you
It's a
get
good thing I've
waterfall
got
from
good
deer?
memory.
Uh, yeah, I'd never noticed them before. All the times I've seen that camera.
Can't see anything. I
And
just
there's
look
a pair. There's a pair of them down there.
Yeah,
Just-
they were hard to see even
A
on my
white-
screen.
looks like a white screen with a lamppost sticking up in the middle.
No, they were even hard to see on my screen, but I could tell what they were. It just I couldn't see it in
Mhm.
detail that they were fake. It just looked like 2 deer standing there. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, now the camera has dropped. You can see more.
See, they're gonna end up putting a statue like that of Paul down there flying his drone.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
And show Paul standing there with his hair too. Or no, they'll put one down there, Paul sitting in his chair at the back of his truck. Well, whenever you go, Paul, I'll go down there and I'll beg the city to put a statue of you down there.
Uh-huh.
It'll be you
Yeah,
sitting in
well,
your chair
And
with
you know what they'll
flying.
do? They'll go, Paul, who?
And there'd be a
Uh, they won't when we raise 1,000 signatures.
exactly.
I'd say 2,000, but I don't think we could do that. We gotta be realistic here.
No, it's gonna be him sitting in a chair, Dusty, because he always sits in his chair down there.
I have a stool, a wooden stool I sit on.
Yeah, it'll be Paul sitting on his wooden stool holding his smart controller. And then, like, you could have a drone connected to the
We need
statue
somebody
when
to,
it's taking off.
Yeah, we need somebody to 3D print a mock-up that we can send with
Yeah.
the signatures. Hell, why wait? Let's do it now.
Confuse the hell out of people.
Well, we want Paul to be able to enjoy it too.
Well, the one statue that is just like, this is the Thomas Edison Inn Museum, which is used to be a train station where they used to get on the train and go to Detroit. But when they pan back, you'll see a statue about over here. And it's Thomas Edison statue of when he was a young boy, because he used to get on the train here and he'd go and he'd sell cigars, cigarettes, chewing gum, tobacco, all that kind of stuff.
So was that a train station when you were a kid, or was that way before?
That was way before. That was back in the early 1900s.
Yeah, he's talking about Thomas Edison.
Well, I was wondering if it was still a train station when Paul was a kid, or if it
Oh.
was
No, they
Sutton.
built it. We've had 2 different train stations here, 3 different train stations here.
But they still have like some of the track there in front of the building, right?
Yep.
But I'm assuming
Well,
they
what
ripped
they
all the
used to
rest
do,
of it.
that was a spur that they were using. They used to come by here, and it used to go over to the paper mill. But the paper mill got closed down a couple of years ago, and there hasn't been any trains on it.
You think they would have like a train on there, like as a museum piece?
Well, they have the actual car that he used to ride in. Old 1920s or 1930s or whatever. But here's where I park usually, right coming up.
Right,
you
that's
see-
where your statue is going to be.
That's where the Thomas Edison. There's a Thomas Edison statue right there.
That'll be Paul flipping off Thomas Edison. Get off my lawn.
I usually park right here. These are 2 handicap spots, and
And it wouldn't be right if we didn't have a couple of squirrels on the ground around him as
there's
well.
Thomas Edison.
Exactly.
And see here, all the seagulls. This clown is feeding the seagulls.
Paul,
Throwing stuff out of the car at the seagulls.
Paul's like, how dare you feed the wildlife around here? Oh, dude, seagulls are ballsy little fucks, bro. They'll
And
snatch food
besides
right out of
that,
your
see,
hand.
this one is on his hood. They got nails on them that'll scratch the shit out of your paint.
Like I said too, those things will they're ballsy little fuckers. I've seen them snatch food right out of people's hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they nicked my fish and chips at Blackpool Zoo. And all I did was put it down on the table in its container.
That happened to my sister one day at the beach. A seagull snatched her sandwich right out of her hand. Yeah, they're ballsy little fuckers, I'll tell you that. Wonder how much the city paid for those statues.
I don't know.
Or were they
I don't
done
know
by
if they were
somebody for free?
donated or what, but his family, before they built all these condos,
Uh-huh.
they have a house and they used to be right back about here. They lived there, 1900s, and his dad was big on the river, and that was before they had the bridge. He built a great big wooden tower, and he used to let people go up on the tower and watch the river.
And then they don't, it's not there no more?
No,
Oh, I'm surprised they tore that down.
well, it was made out of wood. It didn't last very long. Well, we're talking about the early 1909.
Well, I know, but
1908.
sometimes the historical societies will come in, they won't let you tear shit down like that. And then it has to be, if it has to be restored, it has to be done in a certain way. You know,
Not in this town. They're a cheap bunch of bastards.
I know, a bunch of idiots. They didn't even match the two bridges up together.
Nope.
That shit right there annoys the piss out of me. It's like you
That
couldn't
does-
make the
it
other
does
bridge
everybody
match
here,
it.
too. You'd be surprised if people wonder, how come the bridges don't look alike? Because they're idiots. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, they should have at least designed it to make it look like the other one.
Well, maybe knock the old one down and build a new one the same as the other new one.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Mm.
Because that other ones you said's getting was in the 1930s, right?
Yeah, it's late 30s. Yep.
And like I said, for a metal bridge, it's probably reaching its peak. I think
Yeah.
they usually have like, what, 100, 200-year lifespan, something like that, on average, depending on how well maintained they
I don't
are.
know. Echo, when was the fourth railway bridge built?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor. According to Wikipedia, the fourth railway bridge was completed in 1890.
1890.
That's got
That-
40 years on it.
That's a train bridge across the River Forth in Scotland.
It's all about money, money, money. Exactly, Brenda.
That's the one they always say when they finish painting it, they have to go back to the beginning and start again.
That's the Golden Gate Bridge. They're constantly painting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a constant paint job from one end to the other.
Well, the poor guys that were painting that bridge that collapsed were up there with their trucks and everything. And when they showed that ship that ran into the bridge, all those trucks and all those guys went.
Yeah, which is crazy because they started shutting the bridge down like a minute or two before it hit, and you would have thought they would have told the workers to get the fuck off the bridge.
Well, unless they had ear things on, you know.
Well, what I'm saying is like, I'm
Well,
assuming
and
if they,
plus the ship was blowing its horn too.
yeah, when you think about it, I mean, there might have been a reason why they didn't, but just from looking at it, it doesn't make any sense because if they were working on the bridge, they had a bunch of work vehicles on the bridge. I'm assuming they would have had roadway crew out there monitoring traffic, which they did because they shut down both sides of the bridge.
Yep.
Right before the ship hit. You would have thought they would have been telling their guys, "Hey, get off the bridge. Everybody needs to evacuate."
But you know what's funny is they shut off the bridge, but a couple of cars made it across just before it collapsed. You could see the cars going like
I mean,
speeding across.
I guess at the end of the day, maybe they just thought it wasn't going to do that much damage.
Yeah, you know, nobody would structurally think, "Oh, no, that's going to happen with that bridge."
Yeah, it's going to knock us over completely. Yeah.
Well, and too, Dusty, it was like, you know, that bridge was kind of old too. So it was like, you know, a bridge that was built, say, in the 50s, is it really designed for tankers that are 3 or 4 times the size that they were in the 50s, right?
3 or 4.
I mean, they're huge.
Yeah, it's far more than 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. Well, I'm just being general. I'm just being basic.
That was
That's
probably
still huge.
Yeah, that cargo ship was probably 100 times the size of the cargo ships.
I mean, they're getting bigger every year. I mean, they're because they're moving more and more freight, and so
Yeah. Like the one
yes.
what the biggest one Paul does is 1,000 feet long.
Right, so those older bridges might not have the infrastructure built around those trusses to protect them if a ship goes rogue and decides to lose power or whatever and just drift off. Because they could have had big cement barriers way before that truss. But they probably didn't because, like I said, that bridge was designed way before those ships were that size.
Yeah, they've probably just gone straight through them like they were there as well. But
That was in Ohio too, wasn't it?
You have to-
well, that was Baltimore, wasn't it?
Baltimore, Maryland. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, I wonder what the progress is on that. I haven't seen anything about it since it happened. It was like main news for about a week after it happened, then I didn't hear shit about it. That's how fast news moves these days. Something major will happen, a week later, everybody forgets and moves on to something else.
That bridge I was telling you about in Scotland is actually nearly 1.6 miles long.
But being that old, it'd still be in the back of my head going over that thing on a fucking train.
I've been over it on a train. I don't think it's as big as the Humber Bridge, though. Echo, how big is the Humber Bridge?
The Humber Bridge is 1.38 miles long.
Oh God, that's not as. The Forth Bridge is bigger than the Humber Bridge.
But that's the thing is, I think a lot too back in the day when the U.S. was kind of first starting off and they were building all these highways and these bridges.
That's the point.
I don't think they thought about how much maintenance that was going to be to keep up with it over the years. Because there's been a lot of bridges that have
Golden
just
Gate
been
Bridge.
abandoned now because they don't want to fix them.
Gate Bridge is 1.8 miles long.
Ooh, Golden Gate Bridge just beats it at 1.8 miles.
Yeah, that's a big fucking bridge. That thing's huge. I've been across it a couple times.
It's only 0.2 of a mile longer.
Oh, I'm just saying the girth of the bridge is huge.
Yeah,
Right?
the girth.
Yeah, the girth of it.
What is it? Is it two lanes each way or three?
I'm trying to remember because I was really young when I went across it. I want to say it's two. Hold on, let me look at an overview of it.
What bridge?
Golden Gate.
Thought it was
Instead of-
4.
Yeah, I can't remember. Last time I was on it, I was a kid.
Not 8 lanes wide.
It might be 6 lanes. I thought it was more than 2.
Hold on. And it looks like I'm trying to get a close view of it, but hold on. Trying to find a picture of it.
We got the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway. It goes from Mandeville to New Orleans or to Metairie, Louisiana. It's 23.3 miles.
It looks like 3 lanes each way.
I thought it was 3 or 4.
Yeah, looks 6 lanes. I said it's been a long time since I've been on it. But like pictures and videos don't do that bridge justice until you're actually in person and you're going across it. It's fucking huge. Just like the Hoover Dam, you go over that, it's amazing how big that thing is when you actually drive over the top of it and you stop at one of the observation decks.
Mm.
Yeah, it's fucking huge. A lot of people don't realize the roadway actually goes right over top of it, so you actually drive over it when you go through there. When you go through that canyon.
Yeah.
Give me that.
And they say that some of the cement in it still isn't completely dry. They say it was going to take over 100
cured.
years.
Not dry,
Yeah,
cured.
cured. Yeah, over 100 years to cure or whatever. Just because of the thickness of it.
Yeah, I suppose it could take a while.
I mean, because that thing is I don't know exactly how thick it is, but it's really thick. If you watch the building, look at some of the photos and the videos from when they were building it.
Mo.
It gets most of its strength in the first 24 hours.
Well, and it's one of those things too, the way it's curved and built with the water pressing up against it actually kind of makes it stronger. This is the way they kind of designed it. Because they designed it in like a curve. And so the water pushes up against it
Yep.
in the
Pushes
opposite
you
direction,
into the mountain.
which, right, and it makes it a lot stronger by them doing it that way.
The strongest, what was it? Structural shape is an egg.
Tomorrow's Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tuesday.
I think I got a
Yeah.
dentist appointment tomorrow.
Yeah, I've been over
Yeah.
that bridge,
Oh,
that
Joe.
dam a bunch of times.
Me too.
Didn't you just have one the other day, Donald?
Yeah, but that was just for a routine maintenance. This is to correct a filling back here.
Joe's going to get a cap done, right?
I'm gonna get the crown changed to the permanent.
Yeah, actually, I've got a crown they're going to replace. It's developed an overhang. Might have always had the overhang, and then the filling up against it that is cracked. But the place
Oh,
I'm going
Jesus,
to,
Dusty.
they do their own crowns in house, so I don't have to wait. I don't have to get temporary and then come back. They'll do it there.
Yeah, the place I used to go to did their own. This place has been there longer and they have to go out and get it.
You get a porcelain crown or a gold one.
I
It's
see
giving him
Porcelain.
in back.
Monday Night Football, Joe, is the Bills, who are favored to win against the Jets that are home. And the Bills are favored 52.5% to the Jets 47.5%.
Both junk teams.
Yep.
I don't know, Mark. I think gold crowns just look trashy.
I've got
I think if they're up front, you need to get a gold crown. That way it sparkles in the light when you're dancing.
Yeah.
oh my
Joe's gonna
Ernest
come
T.
back
Bass.
tomorrow. Joe's gonna come back tomorrow with a whole gold grill in his mouth.
I've got
That was
six
Ernest
gold-
T. Bass he was talking about.
6 gold crowns in my
Ernest
back.
T.
Good job. I'm gonna get a gold tooth.
Now,
I'm gonna knock one out on either side of it. That way it stands out in the light when I'm dancing.
now,
Yeah.
what's the
Yeah.
advantage of having gold ones than just a standard crown?
If you get in a
I mean,
bind, you can always take one out and sell it. That's
Well, I mean,
right.
gold's cause soft
it-
metal, so
It's a soft metal and it's inert. So any other metal that they would use would give you like electric static shocks.
see, I don't think gold ones are bad if they're in the back, but when I see people with gold teeth in their front, yeah, I don't think that.
Yeah, no, they're
Oh,
all
there's Joe. There you go, Joe.
Yeah, I think that looks dumb.
I don't know. Joe, is your crown in front or is it in back?
In front.
yeah, front ones are better if they're
Yeah, if it's in front, Joe, I say go ahead and get a gold one if you can. If it's in front.
Yeah, I got to.
with a diamond inset into it.
Well, that's a little ostentatious.
The diamond encrusted.
That is Alvin Kamara teeth. They threw out the first year he was here at Mardi Gras.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got like 10 sets of them. And you take them and you heat them up and mold them so they'll fit in there perfect.
Yeah, it's like the Bubba teeth. Remember when those first came out? Everybody was
Yep.
buying those. That's what you did. You would heat
You
the
won't go out.
little, you'd heat the little wax crap up or whatever it was, and then you'd put it in the mold, and then you'd press it into your teeth.
It was low temperature plastic. But yeah, you just gave me a deja vu. I used to have some of those and it would make my knees cry and cry and cry every time I put them in.
Oh, dude, I remember when those first came out. Like every gas station, Walmart, everybody was selling them, and every place you'd go to, they had fucking Bubba teeth, and then they had like
Yeah.
cheap off-brand ones, but you wanted the name brand ones.
Yeah, because the name brand ones actually fit in your mouth okay. The off brand ones are just huge and just
Yeah. Make you
you
gag.
could still talk with the Bubba teeth in your mouth. You can still talk. With the off brand ones, you went.
Yeah. And they would test your gag reflex too. I wonder if they still sell the Bubba brand teeth. Let's see.
Oh no, but I'm gonna go start fixing some. I think we're gonna do hamburger helper for dinner tonight. Yummy,
Oh.
yummy.
I had leftover red beans and rice.
You had 4 bowls yesterday.
Had 3 bowls yet. Had one today. May have another one. Good roughage.
Well, couldn't you put that on toast? Neat.
I don't want it on toast. You could. It's better with French bread. You get French bread and just you get that sucker boy and wow. I used to make sushi, right?
Yeah.
And one day I had some leftover red beans and rice. I took a lot of the juice out and had just the kidney beans, and I made sushi red beans and rice with a piece of sausage and the red beans in there with a little bit of the gravy in it, like that. And my kids looked at me like I was nuts, and I said, "Now it doesn't have the seaweed in it. It's just the rice, and it's just sushi red beans and rice." And they thought I had a whole box of it I made, right? Whole container. And they looked at it and they tried it and they said, "That's actually pretty good." I said, "That's all it is, red beans and rice." Each of them had a sausage in it. Each of them had a bunch of beans. And then it had the rice on the outside. It was a little gravy mixed in.
Wow.
Well, it was just sushi type, like red beans and rice bites. It was hard to make. Ooh, was it hard to make. I haven't had sushi in forever. The only time I ever do it is when I make it. It's not hard to make. You got to have the right rice. That's it.
Oh, you want a sticky rice too.
Yeah. But I've got a sushi a machine technically that you put all the rice in, fold it over, push it, and it packs it together. Then you open it up and take it out and cut it.
Yeah, sushi's not hard to make. They have sushi kits you can buy too that come with all the
Yeah.
stuff to make them.
Yeah, I've got 2 different ones. I bought 2 different ones. I didn't know which one I liked the best.
And then you can go on Amazon too, and you can buy the bamboo sushi rollers.
Yeah,
Like you want to
those
do
work
it
too.
yourself. Yeah. You can lay all the shit in it and then you just roll it and then just roll it up and you're done. Then
Yep.
slice it up. I don't know. The kind of sushi I eat is relatively cheap, so I don't even bother making it. Seems like a bigger pain in the ass to make it than it just is to buy it.
Yeah. Sometimes it is a pain.
I like spicy shrimp rolls, the California rolls,
Yeah.
the spicy tuna rolls. Those are good.
Yeah, I make like a California roll, but I use the crab meat and all this other stuff in it. And then I got a little drizzle of a hot sauce like I'll use.
Yeah, nothing like going and getting fresh sushi at a sushi place. Publix actually has really good sushi, and they make it in-house too. They actually
Yeah.
make it and package it in-house. It's really good. I bought sushi at Walmart one time, and it was horrible, man. The rice was all crunchy. I was like, "That's gross." I never bought it again. The brand that they sell in the deli. I don't know. It might be better now, but that was a few years ago. I bought it one day for lunch, and I got to the back breaker room, and the rice was all crunchy. I was like, "I didn't even finish cooking the rice."
Yeah.
What do they call that? I can't remember. it's sliced like sushi, but it's sliced and it's on in a wrapper, usually in a cold case. You know, it's like rice around the outside with stuff in the middle.
That's
And
sushi.
it's like this wide.
That's
about that.
sushi.
That's sushi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people think sushi when they think sushi. There's some reason everybody thinks raw fish, and I don't know why. Actual sushi doesn't have all that shit in it.
Well, they do make it raw with raw stuff.
Oh, I know, but the general sushi that most Americans eat doesn't have all that crap in it. It's just crab meat and shrimp, and I mean,
Yeah.
about the one thing that might gross most people out is the seaweed wrap that you use to make it, but that does not taste bad at all. It's actually probably the less of all the flavors that are in it.
Yeah.
And if you get a good sauce, like a good Southwest sauce or some kind of spicy sauce to put on it, oh yeah, it's really good. Really adds to it.
Well, you don't have to convince Joe that to use sauce. He loves them hot sauces.
But if you're somebody that likes crab meat and you like shrimp or anything, you'll eat sushi. Trust me, you'll end up liking it.
Joe, do you put hot sauce on everything?
Not everything.
Not a cereal, at least.
Yeah. I'll put it in my coffee.
All right, I'm gonna jump off. I'll catch y'all later.
Okay, everybody. I think we're gonna go ahead and call it, huh?
Y'all have a good night.
What do you think, Joe?
Here you
Catch you
go. Here you
guys
go.
maybe tomorrow evening. I won't be here
Hey,
tomorrow morning.
hey,
so-
hold on a minute, Justin. Oh, let me
Justin's
find it.
going to
Yeah.
work tomorrow. Training.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, I won't be here
Here
tomorrow
you go.
morning.
That's the sushi I made.
Oh, there
Oh
you
yeah,
go.
that looks good.
That looks good.
Yeah, that stuff, boy, that hurts your feelings.
You used did you use pureed avocado?
No, that was the avocado. It was the package you get at Walmart. Like it's like in the by the
Yeah,
salad.
it's like pureed. It's
But it
not
was, I got
actual
the
chopped
chunky
up.
one though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got the
'cause
chunky one.
normally
So
you put chunks of avocado in there, but I'm sure that would taste fine too. Just
yeah, it came
pureed.
out perfect. I got the spicy
It
one, so it
looks
gave
good.
it a little kick.
I mean,
That
they
was
were
with
very
crab meat,
uniform.
and it had I think they had celery in it too.
They were very
Onions and
uniform.
stuff.
They look good. So
Yeah, I can go into stores and you'll see it in like boxed on, not in like trays with plastic over top.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what Publix does here. They actually make it in-house and they package it up and then put it out on the shelves for sale. But they actually make it from scratch right there in the store. They don't. It's not prepackaged that comes in.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know whether it is over there, but over here it's bloody expensive as well.
No, it ain't that expensive. A tray over here would cost you maybe $3-4. It's not that expensive.
yeah.
All right, I'll catch y'all later.
Okay,
Okay.
good luck
See
tomorrow.
ya.
Yep,
Yeah, best of luck.
Yeah, later.
later.
I guess we'll call it. I guess.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Joe, Mark, you take care. Everybody in the chat. Stay out of trouble until we see you next time tomorrow
Yep, see
morning
you in the
again
morning.
at 9 a.m.